Thursday, 8:30 Mountain Time. So I'm in Colorado Springs, which means tomorrow the Air Force Academy graduation happens here in the city, which means you're going to hear thunderbirds flying over as we practice. Which, people often think that we have to have the perfect experience, the perfect studio, the perfect music, the perfect outfit. We don't. And actually, I think practicing with a ton of distractions is a really good practice to really hone in on that limb of yoga where we go inward and we withdraw the senses. Of course, I like to be outside where it's beautiful, but we withdraw the senses that might bring us annoyance, like the sound of thunderbirds, the sound of the woodpecker that I'm sure will pop in, or the phone ringing, or whatever. And if we can withdraw from that, or at least not react to it, then we're really practicing beautiful yoga or meditation. People often think you have to have like complete silence to meditate, and it's actually a better tool to meditate when there's a lot of ruckus going on because it really trains you to go inward to that vipassana meditation where we're simply aware of the breath and we train our brain to not react to things. And then we apply that teaching to our life where we train ourselves to not react to other people, or we train ourselves to not react to the weather or the things that we have zero control about, right? So I have some blocks on my yoga mat. I'm going to move this back just a smidgy. There we go. So I got my yoga blocks, and today's practice is going to be on the ground. Okay, so we're going to play a little bit with being on the ground today. I do a lot of variety here. So sometimes we're going to do a chair practice. Sometimes we're going to do a standing practice. I believe last week was standing. So we're going to come down to the ground for today's practice. And then maybe next week we'll change it up. So let me make sure I'm in a good spot. I'm going to lower this just a tiny bit. The beauty of live. There we go. That's better. You'll be able to see more. Okay, so find yourself on the mat. I'm going to start in a seated position. Now, in order for me to sit comfortably on the ground, I need to sit with my legs in neutral. So I sit in what's called hero's pose. For many of you, this might not feel comfortable and you're more suited to sit cross-legged or even legs out straight in front. It doesn't matter. Now, I have my blocks handy. If you don't have blocks, you can use books or pillows. You just need something to bring the floor a tiny bit higher. Notice that the spine is super straight. Take a look at that beauty behind me. Isn't it magnificent? People often say I'm lucky, and I don't know that I would agree that I'm lucky. I believe that I'm very blessed, and I've worked really hard to create that. Here come the thunderbirds. You're going to hear them. I can see them. All right, so here's where we get to practice tuning inward, withdrawing the senses, and focus. Take a breath. Empty the breath. Take another breath. It's loud. Empty the breath. Withdrawing the senses from the external and going internal. One more breath. Beautiful. Now close your eyes just for a minute, and I want you to tune into whatever sense you feel like paying attention to. Something you smell, something you feel, something you hear. Eyes are closed, so maybe you have color behind your lids. Maybe you have a hint of toothpaste in your mouth. I can feel the sun on my back and it's warm. That's where my attention is going. Open up your eyes and just place your blocks or your books next to you. I'm going to keep them close to me. I'm going to place my right hand down. Left arm is going to go to the sky. Drop the shoulder. We don't want it to creep into the ears. Take a big breath. And then exhale, side bend. If you've practiced with me, you know I am a huge fan of side bend. I think it really opens up the heart. We're going to talk about the heart. Inhale up and exhale, lower it. Hand onto the left side. Block. Right arm to the sky. Up and over. Come back and return. Bring the blocks slightly behind you. I'm going to flatten mine so that there's no chance of them tipping. And I'm going to lean back onto the blocks and squeeze my shoulder blades. This is opening up my heart, so I have a little extension here of my spine. I'm going to draw a line with my nose up to the blue sky where it's beautiful, crystal clear. Take a breath. and then return to a straight spine. We're going to do those movements together, but we're going to link them in a breath and a movement. Get long through your spine. Take a breath. On your exhale, drop your right hand. On your inhale, left arm rises. Exhale, we reach over. Inhale, back up. Exhale, it lowers. Inhale, right arm. Exhale, over. Inhale, up. On your exhale, walk your books or blocks back. On your inhale, lift your chest, lift your nose. And on your exhale, straighten your spine. Super nice. Now I'm going to take the blocks a little bit wider. So I'm going to have to reach for them. I'm going to scoot them out just a little bit. Right hand's going to go. Left hand's going to rise. And then I'm going to take a little deeper side bend by bending the right elbow. You can feel this in the out part of the left hip, the left cheek. Inhale to rise. Left hand is going to reach for the left block. Right arm's going to rise. Bend your left elbow and reach. Come on back and then return. I want to talk about the heart just for a second. Here's what I love about the heart energy. When we think of hearts, we might think of the color pink or lavender or something in that pinkish tone. But actually, the heart center, the heart chakra, is green. And this time of year, I think every time I step outside, I am looking at love. And I love that green is the color that surrounds me, which I associate with love. So anytime I'm feeling anything funky, I just have to go outside and see the millions of shades of love around me. Here comes another thunderbird. We're going to get on our backs. All right, we're not going to come all the way down to our backs just to start. So we're going to sit on our bums with our knees up. I'm going to have the blocks handy. I may not need them. I'm going to grab my hamstrings and I'm going to find that little balance place on that triangular bone called your sacrum. Right leg lifts, left leg lifts. Now you can hang out here. It's perfect. Notice if you're starting to collapse through the spine, you're going to want to lift and become tethered to the sky. Now, you can let your hands go away and just use your abdominals to hold this pose. We're going to take 2 breaths. Inhale, exhale, inhale, and exhale. Drop your heels. Bring your hands behind you. Walk your heels in. We're going to come to reverse tabletop. Lift your hips. Okay. I'm going to take my eyes to the sky. Try not to let your head hang, but just hold here. Take a breath and return. And I'm just going to turn so that you can see the direction of my legs, but go ahead and stay long on your mat. So the left leg is going to be long in front, and the right leg is going to open, so the knee's going to bend, and the right foot is on the inside of the left leg. Now I'm going to use my blocks for sure on this one. So place the blocks on the highest level, and I'm just going to drop my forearms to the block. So I've brought the floor to me. Now you might be able to go a little deeper, and that's perfect. Eyes are at your toes. Toes are to the sky. Feel a nice stretch behind the left leg. Take a breath in. On your exhale, aim your nose towards your toes. So you're really finding that body awareness to pull the left cheek back. Reach your nose towards your toes. No rounding of the spine just yet. Really feel the length through the left leg, length through the spine. Another breath, nose to toes. And now we're going to surrender and round. So take a breath in. You might lower your blocks and exhale. Draw a line with your nose to your heart. So now we're rounding the spine, letting the crown of the head be heavy towards the knee. Maybe the top of your head reaches your knee. If it does, great. If it doesn't, great. The good news is no confetti comes from the sky if it does. Nothing magical happens. One more breath. And then inhale to rise. All right, we're going to spin and take a twist. So bring your left hand to your right knee. Take a breath in, and then you're going to spin your heart to the right. Here's what I want you to think about when it comes to spinning or twisting. pull the heart around towards the right shoulder. That's really getting into the thoracic spine, the area of the heart. We're actually wringing out some of those not so great emotions that we have in our heart that can get stuck there if we choose. So we're going to squeeze out those unkind and unnice feelings. And then wind back to front. We're going to do the whole thing on the other side. So again, I'm just turned so you can see where the legs go, but you can be long ways on your mat, whatever. Here comes the Thunderbird. Now, right leg is going to go straight. Left knee is going to bend. You're going to take your left knee and open it, placing your left foot on the inside of your right leg. I'm not able to do that, okay? I'm just not able to, and that's okay. Blocks are going to come up. I'm going to still use the same sensation. I'm just not able to externally rotate my left hip. Arms or forearms are going to go to the blocks, toes to the sky, right foot. Take a breath. Aim your nose towards your toes. You should feel a deep stretch behind the right leg, behind the right knee, into the calf, into the Achilles. It should feel pretty good. Take a breath. Nose to toes. Another breath. Lengthen nose to toes. And now this last breath, you're going to round and surrender. Take a breath in. Now bring your nose towards your heart. And just give yourself a couple breaths here just to expose the heart to the back. Some of the wisest yogis have said to me that when we round our spine like this and we open up the shoulder blades and we're exposing the heart behind us, we're paying respect to where we've been, respect to our past, and all the things we've learned. Inhale to rise. We're going to take the twist. And remember, your left knee is open. Mine's not. I'm going to place my right hand on my left knee, just like you. Get long through my spine. I'm going to spin my heart to the left. Should feel amazing. Now, if you're practicing outside, like I am, I want you to look around. Find some green. Associate that color green with the heart. Come back around. Isn't that cool? All right, now last seated one, and then we're going to come all the way down. Feet are going to come together like pages of a book, and the binding is the back edge of your feet. Okay, I'm again not able to do this, so I'm just going to guide you through it. My feet are your hands, so soles of the feet are together. I'm going to do one side. I'm going to let my right knee open, and now my feet would be sealed together, sole of the foot to the sole of the foot. I'm not able to do that, but I can get that external rotation through my right hip and get that opening through the inner thigh. And I'm going to choose to put a little love into my left leg by interlacing my fingers. Spine is nice and tall. Take a breath. On your exhale, hinge forward just a little bit. Feel that sensation through your glutes. It should feel nice. Take a breath. Hinge forward a little bit more. My neighbor's dog is barking. His name is Tippy. He's a beautiful border collie. And that's just another one of those little distractions where we could react to it. We could be frustrated. We could be like, why doesn't that dog be quiet? Or we can just return to our focus of inward attention, what we feel in our body, the peacefulness of birds, the rhythm of our breath. There's so much that we can pay attention to, but we are conditioned to often look at the negative things in our life or perceive negative things. I don't know if there's really anything negative. All right, now we're going to spin and get comfy on our backs. What I love about Wednesday midweek yoga is that it's short, sweet, and to the point, and we get a nice stretch and we get time together. And we get to listen to Thunderbirds today, practicing for graduation. And we get to look around at some beauty. Here we go. Come on down. Draw your knees into your chest. Oh. Take your knees and open them towards your armpits. Just listen to your body here. Close your knees. Now I have a beautiful series coming up. I worked really hard on it. It's not for everybody, but if you know somebody, which I guarantee everybody knows somebody who has had a hip replacement, it'll be a great series for that individual, whether it's you or somebody that you love. 3 more open and closed, just little baby butterflies. It's going to go back to the basics of physical movement to rehabilitate the hip back to strength and awareness using the lens of mindfulness. All right, lower your feet to the mat. We're going to come into the pelvic tuck. I do this actually in my hip series because everybody can benefit from pelvic tilts. So place your hands on your pubic bone and your navel. So that space, that soft belly part between your pubic bone and your belly button, make it flat by lifting the lower spine away from the ground. This is what we call neutral. I like to think of it as filling up a teacup. Take a breath. On your exhale, pour the tea into your belly. Plant your spine flat on the ground. Come back to neutral. Rock your pelvis back to neutral. Fill up your tea. And then exhale, pour your tea. Imprint your spine. We're going to do about 5 of these, so just keep rocking. But I want you to think about engagement. As you flatten your spine to the ground, you are squeezing your hips towards your ribs. You're contracting right there. And as you come to neutral, there's a relaxing. So we contract, engage, and release. You might even start to bring awareness into your glutes and your inner thighs as you flatten and contract. Let's do 2 more. This is a great exercise if you have back pain or you're nursing a sore back. Now come back to neutral. Don't look at me, just listen. Imprint your spine, flatten it to the ground. Now peel your hips up to the sky into a bridge. Don't look. If you need to look, come out a bridge, take a peek at the screen, and then get back in. We're going to hold this bridge. Heart is higher than the head, which is a great reminder that if we live our life through our heart, we are much less reactive to the external things we have no control over, which is usually interpreted with the mind. Take a breath and lay your spine all the way down. We're going to put that into one beautiful sequence. Inhale to neutral, rock your pelvis. Exhale to imprint. Inhale to lift. Exhale to stay. Inhale to lift an inch. Exhale to lower. We're going to do it again. Here come the Thunderbirds. Inhale to neutral. Rock your pelvis. Exhale, imprint. Inhale, lift. Exhale, stay. Inhale, lift an inch. Exhale, lower your spine. We're going to do it 2 more times. Inhale to neutral. Exhale to imprint. Inhale to lift. Exhale to stay. Inhale to lift an inch. Exhale to lower. Last one. Follow with me. Inhale to neutral. Exhale, imprint. Inhale to lift. Exhale to stay. Inhale to lift. Exhale to lower. Slide your legs out long. Sweep your arms to the sky and then above your head and behind you. Create a nice long body here. A good morning midweek stretch. And we're going to come into a banana shape. Take your feet to the right and your arms to the right. Create that side bend C curve. You should feel a nice stretch to the front of the left hip. Here comes a hummingbird. Hummingbirds, thunderbirds, we got them all. Come back to center, arms above your head, feet straight out in front. Let's take the banana shape, other side, feet to the left, arms to the left. Feel it along the right hip, top of the hip, side of the hip. Come back to center, long, beautiful body. Now take your legs wide like a starfish. Bring your hands to your body. I like to have my right hand on my belly, left hand on my heart. Close your eyes. Take just a moment to pause midweek. Tune into sensations around you, what you smell, what you hear, what you feel. Take a moment to be grateful, to take care of this beautiful form, to learn tools to withdraw the senses from the external chatter and noise that we have no control over. Gratitude for the remembrance that every time you see the color green, you are looking at love. That's love. Love is everywhere. So, where will you put your attention today? That's your work. Okay, I will see you next Wednesday for another round of morning yoga. And look for my series coming up. Again, if you've not had a hip replacement, that's okay. You may still find it useful because we're talking about activating muscles, engaging the core, standing strength, some seated balance work, and then just some basic yoga ish stretching to bring awareness to the body. So it's very straightforward, very basic, back to the roots of what we will rehabilitate after a hip replacement. But it could be suitable for anybody. But I guarantee you know somebody who's had a hip replacement that might just need a refresher or want to feel as though they're being taught something by somebody who's been through it. And I have definitely been through it. So be sure to watch for that. It's coming up later this week. And I'll see you next Wednesday. Other than that, have a beautiful week. Here come the Thunderbirds, so I'm out of here. All right, take care, and I will see you next Wednesday. Be well, my friends.